there everybody, I'm John Nash with Ukulele Inspired. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Insight. Today we discuss a right-handed technique called the chuck. What the chuck is a right-handed percussive technique that we use in our strumming in order to create a little bit of interest or a little bit of drive. So let's break down exactly what I'm doing with my right hand. So I want to strum with my pointer finger and then immediately cover the strings with the palm of my hand. So that's the actual mechanics of it, but what you want to do is try to turn it into one motion where you're strumming down on the strings and covering at the same time. Try to snap the wrist a little bit. When you're first starting to learn this technique, you might hear a couple of the strings ring out. You might not get that clean kind of snap sound when you're first doing it. Don't stress so much. Remember, whenever you're learning technique, it's all about repetition. I always say consistency comes with repetition. So try and do it as many times as you can, and don't worry so much about the sound at first. Eventually your body will teach you how to do the technique. Once we've got the technique sounding a little more consistent, we can talk about placement or where we can put this in our strum for it to be effective. So since we're doing an actual down strum with our finger and then muting with our right hand, this is actually a great replacement for any down strum you're doing. Be sure to check out this other Insight video where we talk about rhythm and how it functions on the ukulele. A really great exercise from that video was playing quarter notes in an alternating up and down pattern and then playing eighth notes 16th notes. How I can integrate this chuck technique into that exercise is I want to play the chuck technique on the downbeat on 2 and on 4. So what I'm playing is 1, chuck, 2, chuck, then eighth notes, 1 and chuck, and 2 and chuck, and 16th. The next step is to take that chuck technique on the 2 and the 4 and apply it to any strum pattern you want. I'll use this strum pattern, and then I'm going to chuck on the 2 and the 4. 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1. Remember, that chuck technique can work with any strum pattern you want, but you want to play it when you're playing a down strum in your natural motion. One quick tip if you want to increase the intensity or the attack on that technique, what you can do is use more than one finger. So instead of just down strumming with your pointer finger, what you can do is do 2 fingers or 3 fingers. You can also hear my nails kind of coming past the strings and clicking on the soundboard of the ukulele to get a little bit of a louder sound. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Insight. Be sure to subscribe to stay inspired.